I am going to give you a quick tour of the One Button Studio Pro version 4. Now this is the culmination of 5 years worth of work, and I'm really excited to share this with you. So everything you see in this room is part of this turnkey kit. Aside from my laptop, which is sitting here, but that will be part of the demonstration. I got to get a close-up on this. This is just super cool. Love it. So, yeah, so just briefly, this is an automated self-service presentation recording studio. So it's designed to be quite powerful, but yet extremely easy to use. In fact, I recently just installed one of these in a middle school that they're using for morning announcements. So it's equally at home in a middle school or in a college or university or in a corporate setting with the CEO coming in to do presentations. So this has a couple of extras that I'm showing here. One of those is the digital light board. It lets you write and draw right over the top of the live video. The other is what we call the Zoom add-on, and it's actually this teleprompter here, which lets you send the output of the system into a Zoom meeting or another video conferencing software, and also allows for some other cool things that I'll talk about in a few minutes. So the user comes into the room. They simply follow the on-screen instructions, right? Push the launch button. So I'm going to do that, and you'll see that immediately the studio lights come on, and we're ready to move forward. I'm going to take a seat here. Oh, by the way, this is an ADA-friendly desk, which is motorized and can go up or down quite easily. So this is really about digital inclusivity, making high-quality presentations available to anybody. I just put one of these in a public library for the first time, which is really cool as well. So, a new set of instructions on the screen: load your presentation, configure your video, start and stop with the button. So we've got keyboard and trackpad here, so we can go ahead and open up our presentation, and we can go full screen with it. And in this case, we're using both monitors. So if you've got presentation notes, those are going to show up on the teleprompter. So it's really easy to reference your notes and still maintain a good eye line with your audience, because the camera is right back there in the center of that screen. So the other option for presenting is running your presentation in a window, and in that case what it'll do is it'll be isolated to a lower monitor, and then you can go ahead and run your Zoom meeting up at the top. Looks like there we go. So yeah, so we've got our Zoom meeting going up at the top, we've got our presentation on the left, and we've got our program monitor over on the right that shows the live composite of everything that's happening. So when you've got things set up the way you want them, you hit the one button. This is it right here, the one button. We click that. We actually get a recording countdown on the screen, as you can see here. And then our recording light comes on, which you can see here. Pretty cool. So we're now recording, and if I show you this, you can see that we have options, and generally we do all this before we start recording, but I wanted to show you the recording process. So we've got our touchscreen control panel over here. We can move our presentation around the screen just by hitting the presentation position button, right? So we've got various options for where our presentation is going to show up. We can actually move ourselves around the screen. As you can see, make yourself smaller, or do the Twitch style thing where you just head and shoulders in the corner, right? If I want to turn myself off entirely, I can just hit another button. So I'm going to bring myself back into this, and there we go. And we can easily change our slides here, go through our slides, right? I'm going to move my presentation back up in the corner, make it a little bit smaller. We have background selection, so we can go ahead and just pick a background that we like, right? Again, that's just one more button on the touch screen here. If we prefer to see ourselves in an exact mirror image on the program monitor, we can just hit horizontal flip. Right? Sometimes that's easier depending on what you're doing. In this case, it's not great because I've got writing on my shirt and it reverses everything. But that option is certainly available. Now let's say I've got my laptop and I've got my own content here that I want to show as part of the presentation. Well, I can simply just hit the presentation source button and it flips over to the output of my laptop. Now, the cool thing about this is, in this case,
give it to Zay Jones.
Football clips playing. I can use the digital light board, and I can highlight certain areas of the screen. I can show what various players are going to do. Now, don't give me a bad time here. I actually know very little about football. I'm not even a sports fan, but I think you get the idea. It's super easy to write and draw right over the top of your live video. And you can just pick a different color. You can pick a different brush size. There's just some really easy to use options over here on the right-hand side. And of course, when you're done, it's just one click to clear everything off. So there you go. We can easily switch back to our other presentation if we want to. And this could actually be, you could use a document camera over here and use that as your secondary source. So there's just some cool options there. So let's see, is there anything I haven't shown you? Oh, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. So when I do that, the light goes out. It shows us the recording is stopped. So now I get a copy of my recording on the presentation system over here. And I can then drag and drop it into whatever online repository I want it, whether it's Google Drive or OneDrive, whatever the case may be, or Panopto, or those other content management systems. So, however, I can just do a quick review if I hit the review button over here, and then a recording light comes on, which you can see here. Pretty cool. So we're now recording, and if I show you this, you can see that we have options, and generally we do all this before we start recording, but I wanted to show you the recording process. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop that. It takes us back to live video. So if I'm happy with what I've done, I can just upload my file and walk away with it. If I want to record again, I would just hit the button again and start another recording. So one of the cool things I want to point out about this is that we've taken great pains to dramatically increase the quality of our chroma key. So I'll insert some sample video into this. We're doing what I don't think anyone's done yet on this at this price level. And so we've actually integrated Blackmagic Design Ultimatte hardware into our software. and made that connection. And so we're really getting the industry's finest chroma keying happening here. So, and I happen to think that our green screen is quite beautiful as well. One thing I forgot to mention is that our teleprompter here with your video conferencing software can be used to remote produce video segments. So we just did this earlier today. We had a local nonprofit organization come in, and they had the interviewee sit here, and the director of the organization was coming in remotely via Zoom. And so they could essentially look at each other eye to eye through the teleprompter and through Zoom. And the director was able to ask questions, the interviewee answered, and we were recording really high quality video here on this end. So it's a really powerful tool in that way. So there you have it. There's an overview. Maybe that wasn't as quick as I thought it was going to be. There's just too many cool things to show. But this is the One Button Studio Pro version 4. And again, it's everything you see here is available as part of the kit, aside from my laptop, but I'll sell it cheap. I need a new one anyway. So there you have it. Feel free to reach out with questions. I'm happy to do live demos with the system. We've actually got a guy flying in Monday from Texas just to see it in person. So hey, you're welcome to come visit as well. We're in Everett, Washington. But yeah, there it is.